I start to analyze what kind of content will attract more followers, and I start to post more content in that direction.
What was it?
It's very cute, innocent, schoolgirl look.
Our guest today is Irene Zhao, a Chinese model and influencer, one of the most influential women in crypto. Irene is also the founder at SoCol, a Web3 social platform made for creators, brands, and communities. How did your influencer journey start?
Well, it started after my university, which is pretty late. My career as an influencer and as a broker, they started at the same time.
Okay.
I was doing like part-time modeling in university. I posted random photos on Instagram, and suddenly some photos got viral. And then I say, oh, actually, I can make money from being an influencer.
How different is the Twitter game from other social media platforms?
You have to be on Twitter all day to know what's going on. I think for Twitter, you need to be really smart in how you tweet. A lot of companies, the big company, they're still keen in the NFT business. They still think it's the future, and they are very keen to put the resources, the money into the NFT collections. So we are working with all these brands who are easier to work with because they already have the belief.
There is always going to be someone who's more successful or more beautiful or smarter. What do you think is a main driver of happiness if the money and all these goals are never enough? What makes you happy? Irene, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Kevin. Nice to be here. Hello, everyone. Do I need to hi to the
You can
audience?
say hi to everyone.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
You can look at
It's
this.
Irene. Very nice to be here.
So we're recording this podcast from Singapore, where you moved about 10 years ago.
No, it's actually 2008. So it's 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why did you move to Singapore?
I came to Singapore because I got a MOE scholarship from the Singapore government. And that's why I decided to come to Singapore to pursue my study. Yeah.
Okay. Did you apply in other places like Hong Kong or, I don't know, maybe the US, or is it just here that it happened? Like, how did the choice of Singapore came for these scholarships?
Because my dad was doing MBA at National University of Singapore, like 2005. And he thought Singapore is really a nice place for me to further my studies and to have a better career. And that's why he already made this decision like 20 years ago.
For you.
Yes. And then there is like this opportunity that you can get, like, you can go to Singapore to study for free for 4 years because under the scholarship.
Okay.
And my dad said, oh, you have to seize these opportunities like once in a lifetime. And so we go through a lot of interviews, a lot of tests in math, English. And then fortunately, I passed the test, and that's why I'm here.
Were you a good student?
I was a good student in China.
Yeah.
And I was super good at math in Singapore for the first 2 years because, you know, the curriculum is super different from the one in China, and they are like much slower.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have that, so I can like just don't study and also get very good grades for my math and physics.
Okay.
But after 2 years later, like we start to learn about new stuff, right? That's a bit of a challenge for me because I'm better at art subjects instead of math.
Okay.
Like science subjects, yeah.
Okay. So you probably in the last 15 years did quite a few back and forth between China and Singapore,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
How did China evolve in the last 15 years? Because I remember I was there.
Yeah.
I went to Shanghai, Guangzhou, Yiwu, like 10 years ago, 2013. And people would all say, oh, in the last 10 years, so 2003, 2013, everything changed so much. I can imagine that since that time, everything changed so much again. So what did you see? And are you still, if you see things, because it probably changed a lot.
Yeah, it changed a lot. Compared to China, compared to Singapore, of course, at a much faster space. Yeah. Because after we changed the leadership in China, like the leadership role, leadership style changed a lot in China, right? So I think, and also we adopted the Alipay, the WeChat Pay, where we don't really use cash anymore. So if you go China and you use cash, it's like people will find this very weird. So I think this is the thing that I find is really amazing in China. Yeah.
Actually,
and also Singapore had tried to actually adopt cashless for such a long time, and people are still using cash most of the time.
I think it's not too bad here. I was in Hong Kong just this weekend. I came from Hong Kong yesterday. It's crazy there. It's Hong Kong, and like you literally need to pay taxi drivers, MRT,
everything
just cash. You can't use a freaking card. And I'm like, how is that possible in Hong Kong in 2023? Like, it's crazy. So I felt like as Singapore, we had like we're kind of above.
Yeah, it's much better. At least you can use the Apple Pay, everything. Yeah.
So seeing China move so fast, don't you have a bit of like kind of FOMO? Like, I should be back there to develop, I don't know, my career or things there? Or are you still feeling better here because, I don't know, lifestyle?
I think I feel better here because I grew up here. So all my connections, all my friends are here. And also a lot of the Chinese billionaires, entrepreneurs are moving to Singapore and Hong Kong because, you know, the policies in China is not very friendly to a lot of entrepreneurs. Yeah. That's why most of them are moving out. So I think...
You mean as in like if you become too big, you're going to have some issues with the government?
Yes. A lot of like the business is probably going to ultimately owned by the government instead of individuals. That's why a lot of these rich people are trying to move to Singapore. And that's why you see the rental crazy. And also Singapore just passed the new the tax law, you know, it's like 65% for the foreigners. To try to cool down the market.
Do you think that's going to have an impact on the rents?
Oh, I think definitely the Singapore, the house market going to cool down a little bit. Yeah. Which is a good thing because I'm planning to change like a bigger house. So it's a good thing for me. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with a bit of your background.
Sure.
What are the few key turning points in your life that define who you are today?
Oh, I think the first thing is probably when I came to Singapore when I was 15 years old because it's a completely new environment, right? Everything is new. And I think the next one is...
Did you speak English already?
Very broken English.
Okay.
And actually we have very different English lesson from the local students. So we had like 2 different classes. Like all the Chinese students are learning the English within one group. And then the local ones are having English lesson like at a much advanced level.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had really, like we were struggling learning all the biology, geography, everything in English.
Everything in English.
Like, yeah, you know, yeah. That's professional words we have never seen before. And it's super long and super professional wordings.
So you moved here first and then?
And I was in a scholarship for 4 years. Then I went to National University of Singapore for communication and new media.
So scholarship is for was for high school.
Yes,
right?
for high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, of course, there are different scholarship programs for different scholars, and there are also scholars who graduate from high school in China and then they move to Singapore, and so they have scholarship in the university, but they can only choose science subjects because Singapore wants to attract all those Chinese talents who are super good at maths and physics. And that's why they don't really allow them to choose any major they want. But for us who just came for high school, we can choose any major we want.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of my classmates and friends, they went to a business.
So you didn't let them realize that you were really strong in math and physics, and you just managed to get your way into more creative and business stuff. Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing for me because I'm really struggling with math and with physics. Yeah.
Okay, so in US?
Yeah.
Okay, like your dad?
Yeah. No, he's doing MBA.
Yeah, he was
Mine
doing MBA.
is common new media.
Bachelor.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
And then? What happened?
Then after I graduate, I was in school for like 3 years. And after I graduate, I went to a iron ore brokerage firm as a broker. That's how I got into finance. I would say like traditional finance industry.
So you'd say math, physics is not your favorite thing, but you still end up doing trading,
because
trading.
It's a front office role, so you don't really deal with numbers, you deal with people.
Okay.
So it's more like interpersonal skill instead of like how good you are at math or at calculation. Because I'm not a trader, I'm a broker. We have like different job descriptions.
Okay, so it's basically people calling you and saying, hey, I want to execute this trade, I want to buy this.
The buyer tell me, I want to get this cargo, and the seller said, I have this cargo, I want to sell this price. Then we are trying to make the deal work.
Is this not, so this is some time ago, is this not automated today?
We have a platform, but it still requires a lot of negotiations behind the scene. Yeah. Because it's a very traditional business, there's no way you can just put it on screen and automatically trades.
Is it because it's actually needed, or is it more because part of the service that you provide to the client is, hey, you have someone, a human you can talk to that is going to execute your trade. Therefore, you can charge a bit more.
No, because it's actually needed.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of details as well, because every cargo is different. Every customer has very different requirements. So it requires some negotiations and some assistance, manual assistance.
Okay. So trading commodities, brokerage for some time?
4 years.
4 years, okay.
Yeah, 2017 to 2021.
Okay. Did you like it?
I like the interpersonal part where I get to interact with a lot of like C-suite people, very high level. And the boring part is that every day I'm just dealing with cargo, like with rocks, with like steel mills. Yeah, this is the boring part, the essence of the industry itself.
Okay, so 4 years that, and then?
And then I got into crypto earlier 2021 as a CMO of a DeFi project. That's how I got into crypto by a group of friends. They were my university, like best friends in the university. And they started DeFi project. And at the time, they don't have a CMO who is able to do the marketing and promote the project.
Okay.
And so my friend approached me and she said, I was already a KOL at the time on Instagram.
Yeah.
So she was like, you have this skill set where you can market yourself. And right now we have this product, this project. Can you market this project for us?
Yeah. Because
it's kind of the same skill set, right? You do the marketing, you come up with funny and useful content.
Okay, so I think that's interesting. We'll maybe like stop the kind of career and get back to like how you started influencing.
Yeah.
And then at some point we'll cross between Instagram and Twitter for the crypto part.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did your influencer journey start?
Oh, it started after my university, which is pretty late because most of the influencers, they started at 18 years old.
Okay.
But I started after I graduated from university, which is like 23, 24, which is already pretty late compared to my peers.
So you started when you were a trader, basically?
Yes, it's like my career as an influencer and as a broker, they started at the same time.
Okay. How did this even happen?
Because I was doing like part-time modeling in university. So I posted random photos on Instagram and suddenly some photos got viral. And then I started to get requirements and sponsorship from brands. That's how I say, actually I can make money from being an influencer.
So this is when like how long after starting and like kind of how many followers?
Okay.
Like you say I have something going viral and like people contacting you.
When I have about 2,000 to 3,000 followers, their brands start to offering free products.
Free stuff, okay.
Or at the time, I think I still remember I was doing an advertisement for a coconut drink and the rate was like 80 Sing dollar for one post.
Okay.
That's my first job probably. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I start to analyze what kind of content would attract more followers. And I start to post more content in that direction.
What was it?
Okay, it's very cute, innocent schoolgirl look, which is totally different from
I love it.
How I am, like my real life, like how I am in real life. That's why I stopped being an influencer right after I got into crypto because it's really just not me. Yeah. But anyway, yes, that's what I mean. It's still popular nowadays. Like Japanese schoolgirl. That's still popular. So guys never change. Guys at 18 years old, 28 years old, 38 years old, they like girls at 18 years old who look innocent and young.
Okay, so you're 24 and you say, I'm going to look like an 18 years old innocent girl.
I look like 18, but
I'm going to...
Yeah, but I look innocent, like the girl next door type.
So so basically very quickly you have a strategy of like, I'm going to grow my Instagram by being another persona.
Yes.
Okay. How quickly did it work?
It's pretty fast. Like, I think at the time, at my peak, I can get like 10K followers for just one post.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I start to mass producing those kind of content. Yeah.
So this is while you're a trader. That's really so cool. So that's why you're a trader. But how do you spend your time between both? Because doing all these online stuff takes a lot of time.
Yeah, because usually for one day for one weekend I could take a lot of photos, like change outfits, right? So for one afternoon, probably I can produce content for a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it requires a lot of consistent work. I have to post photos almost every day for like 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a pretty private person.
Yes.
How did you manage to build a personal brand while staying private in your personal life?
You just share what you want to share about your life to the public, because I know a lot of influencers, they share everything.
Everything.
Like from the boyfriend when they get married,
Yeah.
they have kids, when the kids get married, everything.
That's an interesting one, actually.
In life, yeah.
Will you, what do you think about posting pictures about marriage online? Because it feels like a lot of people are actually getting married almost for that. They're saying, look, I could,
oh yeah,
for example, especially women, I could lock in this dude and I'm going to show the world that I locked in this dude. And the entire thing is for this picture of the wedding and of the, look at my ring thing.
And they got sponsorship for everything. The wedding, from the MC to the wedding gown, to the hotel, to the food, everything. They tag all the sponsors in that one post to thank everyone who sponsored. So actually the wedding is for free, which is amazing. It's amazing. Everything, even the wedding photo is free. That's the good thing about marrying an influencer. You get everything for free.
And
you don't need to pay anything. Yeah, you just need to be in the photo, be in all his Instagram, be the Instagram boyfriend. You get everything for free.
Okay. You just need to endure the day and the whole picture.
Not a lot of guys can accept that.
Exactly, I want to say.
But some guys, they enjoy the attention too,
Yeah. Or they enjoy taking 1 million pictures.
Yes.
Because they end up being the photographer.
Yes, they enjoy being in front of camera and also being the Instagram boyfriend. So I would say like every person has very different taste, right? They enjoy different things.
Okay.
But for me, I'm a pretty private person. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you really did not like about the Instagram influencers game?
So firstly is the fake persona, right? You have to keep taking photos that don't really show your true personality. And another thing is sometimes you probably need to post more and more exposing photos to get attention. Because you look at Instagram, or those exposing ones, not for me, and the revealing ones, of course they got more likes, right? That's what attracts attention. So that's the part I don't like. And I also sometimes I have to struggle between taking the sponsorship while this product doesn't really represent myself, or
100%.
It kind of dilutes my personal branding. But for the money, I have to take it.
Yeah. People don't take you seriously, or they don't see you as credible because they realize that this is like not you. Sometimes when you make a choice based on a brand, people can directly tell, this is, or at least this is linked to the persona that she or he is playing online. Do you think today it's still the majority of the people who kind of play a persona, or do you think that there is a lot of value for people? That people actually value much more people who are themselves online and are not perfect, basically.
I think persona doesn't mean you are perfect, but you are trying to portray yourself as someone who is more attractive to the online netizens. You will appear to their taste. While, but probably it's not gonna be popular if like the guys probably don't like women that are pretty independent or like very capable. Like it's not really majority of the guys don't like it, right? I would say
that's babes.
Yes.
Boss babes.
Some of the guys, they like the boss ladies, but most of the guys, I would say, especially Asian, right? They don't really enjoy being with a girl who is too aggressive.
Why do you think so? Too aggressive, you said. Why do you think a high value man doesn't like being with a boss babe?
You mean high value men, they prefer someone who is more independent?
Do you think so or not? And if not, or if yes, why do you think so?
I think it very much depends on his needs at the current stage. Let's say if he is is already have a very successful career, and he wants to enjoy his life, right? Spending with someone he loves, or he can take care of him, or like don't have any dramas at all. He would prefer someone who is very independent, or who is someone who has her own career. But if he is like someone who is very career driven and who is take care of all the business and is all meetings all day, probably want someone who can take care of his life. Like he's someone who is more
take care of him.
Take care of him. Yeah, like accompany him to anywhere in the world. Yeah. So it depends on the needs of the guy. What's your type, by the way?
I was waiting for that. So honestly, I love independent women, but the boss babe thing is really interesting. I think there's the polarity in the relationship. A woman should stay very feminine. A guy should stay very masculine, or the opposite. You need a feminine and masculine energy, otherwise it's not going to work, or not for the long term.
I mean, there needs to be a balance.
Exactly. And I think that boss babes I love independent women. I love a girl who would say, hey, I'll pay for this coffee if you pay for something. It's just like, hey, like, I'm not just making benefit of you because there's too many of those. But the problem with like a boss babe is she's much more likely to be annoying and have too much masculine traits. And so I always tell a girl like I think it's so important to stay feminine because the same reason, because it's not actually not attractive. Because if I'm going out with my girlfriend or my wife on a Saturday night and I wear, you know, makeup or lipstick and heels, she's not going to find that attractive. Therefore, if you act like a man, I'm not going to find that attractive. It doesn't mean that you should not have a business or anything, but like have that stuff. But in the relationship, you need to keep your
feminine side.
Exactly. It's very important.
Like the appearance, how you look like.
And also how you are, you know. The problem is like, it's very linked being like strong in business to being also strong in personality. And therefore like, it's not as simple, but like, it's an interesting topic because I talk with a lot of friends and with a lot of women about that too.
Because like, but yeah. You need to find a balance between the two, right?
Yeah. Otherwise you lose the polarity, and if you lose the polarity, you lose the attraction, and you can lose the respect.
I think people who's very opposing or like very contrast traits are the most attractive ones. Like you think this girl is very bossy outside, but actually when she's with you, she's like super soft.
Absolutely.
Like all the time. Like,
absolutely.
Then she's so attractive.
The contrast.
Yeah, the contrast is what makes people most attractive.
Where were we at?
What kind of girl you like? But you said you want a balance, right?
I think like someone who's independent is I love it, but like needs to have the right balance and the right place in the relationship. How hard and stressful is the influencer game?
When I was an influencer, I thought it was so stressful because sometimes I want to work with this brand and they actually ask my rate. But in the end, I found out they work with someone else, right, who doesn't not have enough like as many followers as me, or who has a very different persona like me. So I'll be very upset. Hey, this brand work with her, but not work with me. But after I get into like entrepreneurs, I found
especially in crypto,
it's 100 times more stressful. Who cares? Last time when I post a photo, I will check Instagram every 1 minute, like how many likes I got. If I don't have 1K likes within 10 minutes, I knew it's not gonna grow viral.
Okay.
Because I know how the algorithm games play. Okay. But right now, I don't really care. I just put a photo. Who cares how many likes I get? Oh, whatever.
Because business is business.
Business is just so much more stressful.
Yeah,
and things need to take in consideration to care about it. It's crazy, yeah.
Do people actually make real bucks on Instagram? And I'm saying that because I have really good friends who are really big, also had pretty big people on this podcast with a lot of followers, like millions of followers. And I've heard about everything. Yeah. Some people could have like 1 million or more followers, but make like 2K a month because they don't really know how to monetize themselves. Some people have much less. I mean, for example, in crypto, we know you can have a much smaller audience, but there's other ways to make a lot of money.
Yes.
So let's talk about Instagram game. Okay. Like, what's your experience? Like, based on your experience, your friends, like, can people really live out of that, live from that?
I think they can if you really, really manage your brand well and you keep working with a lot of high-end brands. And if your followers has very strong purchasing power, of course it can be a full-time career. But you have to really share a lot about your life to your audience, because most of the women are the ones who have the strongest purchasing power. And women like to see all these sweet moments you have with your boyfriend, and when you have a kid, how you be a mom. So these are the things girls want to see. So you have to share a lot of that online to your female followers, like the makeup, the makeup, how to do a nice makeup, how to do a hair, like what kind of dress you should wear to different occasions, all these kind of videos.
So you need to do that, and you need to do that forever, because I mean, where I'm trying to get to is, as long as you work with brands, you're not really responsible, in my opinion, and from the conversation I had, you're not responsible for you're not in control of your future. The day you have your own brand or your own products or your own thing, that's where you can actually make a lot of money from all this following because you're not dependent on these brands anymore. And there's basically no ceiling on how much you can make. So it's more like you need to, the personal brand is amazing, but only as a leverage to an actual business that you build in the back end, or, services or product or.
I think it depends on like what the influencer wants. If they are really ambitious, they want to create a brand and to inspire a lot of other women, of course they can create their own brand. But there are some influencers who are okay with just working with some big brands and get money from that. It's a pretty decent money, I would say.
Yeah. Is it as...
But it's pretty competitive, of course, because you're competing with thousands of pretty girls online to get the attention.
And is the life as amazing as what it looks like when you're at that level of working with these big brands?
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks, oh, this person has 1 million followers. Therefore, he or she is completely rich and like done forever and travels everywhere. Or it's actually part of the whole persona. And you're like, I make good money, but I'm also like kind of a freelancer who is depending on my gigs with my brands. And the day this stops, because it's going to stop one day, or I might be tired of it, then the whole thing is not going to be as pretty in my life as it looks like.
Yes, I think that's why it depends on whether you really love or enjoy sharing content and producing content as a content creator. Because some people really enjoy it. I talk to a lot of influencers. They love taking photos. They would spend 2 hours just to take one nice photo to post on Instagram. But for me, it's like at 5 minutes, I was like, I'm done. I just take a look at 10 photos. As long as there's one photo that's okay, I'm done. But there are some influencers who enjoy taking photos, like who posting all the time. Yeah, so these are the people who they want to be an influencer.
What do you think the main drive behind this is?
Some people just love producing content. Okay. They love the aesthetics. They want to be creative. I talk to a lot of people and they really enjoy doing that. Yeah, so I think they are the influencers because they want to influence people in that way.
Yeah.
Through photos.
Why did you decide to focus on Twitter in 2020?
Actually, 2021. Because
21.
First of all, I have to, because I'm a CMO of the project, right? So I have to constantly promote my project on Twitter. And of course, Twitter is the only place where the people who are doing crypto is on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So your friends, they say, just to recap for everyone, your friends, they say, hey, Irene, we have this crypto project in DeFi, SoCol economy network.
Yes.
We need a CMO. You know how to do all this Instagram influencing. Can you reproduce that into crypto, but it on Twitter?
Yes. That's exactly how I started.
Okay.
Because Twitter is necessary. I mean, it's indispensable to showcase yourself and also the project. Yeah. That's why we decided to start a Twitter account in 2021.
As Irene Twitter account.
Yes, Irene Zhao. Yeah. It's different name as Instagram.
How do you even make the decision on that?
Because it kind of use like Big Chin on Twitter. If you don't know what's Big Chin, I think Irene is a much more like better name.
Okay.
Yeah, more professional.
Okay. So how did this move turn out for you?
You mean?
Kind of like explain us, like you say, okay, I'm going to start this Twitter account to promote economy, but also to promote myself.
Yeah.
Can you tell us like what happened from there?
I started to just post random photos I have on Twitter and just went viral for no reason. And that's it. I just went viral. I got
Can you explain why?
Like 100K followers within like half a year.
Yeah. Can you explain why? I mean, we both know why, but can you explain why? Like, what's the crypto ecosystem like, especially in that time?
I think it is like, first of all, there are very, very few women on crypto at the time. And also I was already big on Instagram. So some of my Instagram followers are actually big KOLs on Twitter. So they will already automatically like my content or like
share,
they interact with me. And you know the Twitter algorithm, right? Once you like someone's photos, once you comment, their fans can see it. So that's the first step.
Yeah. Okay. So half a year, 100K followers on Twitter, on crypto Twitter, which is a lot on crypto Twitter, because crypto Twitter is kind of like niche. The biggest account have what, like a few 100,000 followers. The ones who've been since like 2013, 14 that invented kind of crypto Twitter maybe have like 700K followers. Like there's not like many big accounts.
Yeah, at the time, there are not many females at the time too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, still now there's more, but that's out of the crowd, not that many.
I think now there are more girls posting sexy or like very nice photos on Twitter.
Yeah, and there's also the mix of like OnlyFans and crypto. A lot of girls like playing on that.
Yeah.
But almost too many, actually. It doesn't make them like special anymore.
Yeah, that's why it's very hard to stand out nowadays because just too many girls.
Yeah. So how different is the Twitter game from other social media platform as an influencer?
I think for Twitter, you need to be really smart in how you tweet. And you have to be on Twitter all day to know what's going on. Like, what's the joke? What's the meme? Because it's actually crypto people are very, very smart.
Yeah.
If you make a joke and it's not really funny, they will find it super cringe. And that's it.
Absolutely.
And they will make all these ridiculous comments and it's so cringe, so cringe, so cringe. Like they're much less tolerant than people on Instagram.
It's a very special type of humor, actually.
Yes, it's a very special type of humor.
The Twitter shit posting, basically.
Yeah, it's such a rare talent.
Yeah, the better you shit post, the more smart you are. Actually, it shows that you're...
And you have to on Twitter all day, at least like 2 or 3 hours a day to see what's going on. Like what's the latest, funniest thing to talk about. And you have to link it back to crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you make your account really funny and interesting for people to follow.
So at some point you are doing Twitter and Instagram. So how did you balance basically the IG looks from the Twitter brains? And like, I think then you kind of naturally move towards Twitter. You don't do a lot of Instagram stuff anymore, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So how did this entire thing like
Instagram stuff? Yeah, because I can just reuse the photos I post on Instagram to Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So I can always have a lot of content to post on Twitter. And now I start to like slow down like the posts I made on influencer stuff. Because if you post to like different personas on 2 different platforms, people will be confused. It's like, why? And people think I'm fake on Twitter because all I post on Instagram are like lifestyle posts, like, oh, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing yoga, I'm having like very nice brunch. And I'm on Twitter, I'm talking about crypto, I'm talking about DeFi, I'm talking about all this professional stuff. People are like, are you fake?
Yeah.
And a lot of people still think I'm not real because just like the things I post on Twitter and Instagram are just way too different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I started to post less lifestyle content on Instagram. I started talking about crypto on Instagram. But the thing is, at the time, I received a lot of negative comments.
I would say, how did people react to that?
They hate crypto. I would say like at least 50% of my original audience that are not on Twitter, they know nothing about crypto.
Yeah,
they don't like it.
They're not there for that.
Yeah, they're not there for that. They're like, oh, I was here for your sexy photo, for your bikini photos, for your lifestyle. Why you keep talking about this coin, that coin? You know, yeah, they get mad. So I thought, okay, cool. I'll just post less stuff or more like entrepreneur stuff. That's very neutral, right? I don't really talk about crypto. I don't really post lifestyle. It's all about like how I do startup, everything.
Okay. We'll talk about that later. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship. Are you on TikTok?
I'm not. Actually, I should be.
Why?
Yeah. Because TikTok is the only way for you to reach a wider audience.
Today?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Because the algorithm,
Algorithm not...
And the big data.
Not made yet to monetize as much as Instagram. I mean, for the company itself.
Yeah. I think TikTok is really the best way for you to reach a much wider audience.
Okay. So let's continue with first the thing that your Instagram followers hate, and then we'll talk about the thing that they like.
Sure.
So first we talk about the crypto and NFTs. So you said that you started in the DeFi world as part of this economy network.
Yes.
How did you get along with this DeFi stuff, especially as a next commodity trader or broker?
To be honest, I don't really enjoy DeFi because I don't really like finance, and I don't think it's suitable for everybody.
Yeah.
Right, and especially for girls, because I am an influencer myself. I have a lot of influencer friends. When I talk to them about DeFi, they don't know what is DeFi at all, right?
Of course.
And I
Who
think,
cares?
Exactly. Who cares
about DeFi?
And DeFi, to be honest, it's really hard to understand for like a normal person who don't know anything about finance, right? So it's not really mainstream.
Do you want to explain quickly what decentralized finance is?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right. No, I'm okay. I'm all right. Yeah.
I can see the passion. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, but then you were starting to, basically you made this, you're there, okay, I don't really like that, but there's something else that's really interesting. NFTs, Web2 gig.
Yes.
So how did you get
NFT?
How did you get into that?
I got into that because one of my friends sent me a punk for free. That's how I got into crypto.
CryptoPunk.
Yes, CryptoPunk.
Nice.
July 2021. Yeah.
That's an amazing time.
Yeah, that was like
So that's a nice friend.
It's about 50K US dollar at the time. And as peak, it's about like 400,000. Yeah.
That's a great friendship.
Yeah, that's a very great friendship. That's how I got in crypto. That's how I got in NFT, because I was checking the price every day. Especially when the floor price broke 100 ETH. I was like, what? I'm like,
yeah.
It's like the end of July, after the PayPal.
Yeah.
I think after PayPal bought a punk. Yeah.
Yeah. True. So yeah, we ended up to like 120 for something like that floor price. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So what happens? You have this crypto punk. You're like, crazy. This thing is worth so much money. Like,
yeah. So got NFT. I realized actually NFT is a very good business for the creators, because you can turn everything into NFTs, right? Because there are different kind of creators. Have like video creators. Have creators who can dance. Have creators who can sing. You have creators who are like the musicians, right? You can turn all this content into NFTs.
Yeah.
It's more relevant compared to tokens, because token is just like fungible, right? It's all the same, but NFT is like very different in different formats. And for all kinds of creators, they can launch their own NFT collections.
How quickly did you grasp this? Because I remember, for example, myself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love DeFi because I love investing and yield and compounding.
Yeah.
But I also understood quickly, like, most people will never give a fuck about that. It's too, like, even Bitcoin and all that stuff.
Yes.
But the NFT thing is really interesting. But I needed probably 3 weeks to understand, like, how, this is going to change business model and everything. What for you was the key thing that you understood, like the kind of light bulb moment of like, oh, I can apply this to all this stuff plus the creator economy?
I think it's after the Irene Dao. Yeah, it's Irene Dao movement, because I already have a very existing audience, and I don't like doing advertisement. So I'm thinking, since I already have a big audience, can I do something with them, right? About them, like create a community around them, and we can use NFT as the, like the gated channel for them to access the exclusive content and get to the inner circle.
So the Irene Dao thing is happening when you're still CMO of economy? An influencer, or?
Yeah, it's happened when I'm still an influencer. Yeah. I mean, I'm still influencer until this day. Sometimes I still take some advertisement if it matches my personal branding. Yeah.
But you were still CMO of economy, or not anymore, or kind of starting to think?
I think I was like, half
in between.
Yeah,
like
in between.
So can you tell us about this Irene Dao thing? Like, what happened, what it is, and like what it made you realize about this kind of NFT world and what's possible?
So as I said, I already have a very big audience, and I think I can do something about it. So we launched the Irene Dao NFT collection, which is a free mint for the fans. And actually, when they launched the NFT collection, I was swimming. I was having swimming lessons, and after I finished the lesson, it already minted out.
But you are part of the.
Yes, I am part of it, but I wasn't one.
Saying,
yes, but I wasn't the developer who actually launched the collection.
Okay.
So I was actually having swimming lesson, and after I finished, I realized, it's actually all minted out, and people are talking about it on Twitter. I thought, actually it went viral, and people are really interested in that, because the first ever created NFT in the crypto space, and the people at the time, they really love something that's new and innovative. Yeah.
So, but this started as let's do a test, or you had a kind of idea or strategy about, I want to test this NFT thing on creator economy, or just say, I want to do a kind of joke and see like how it takes?
It's actually started as a meme. We want to do a social experiment, because we don't expect anything. Otherwise, we will already be charging money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It won't be a free mint. Yeah.
Maybe the part of the magic is because it was free, and the reason like
and
people
also
participate more.
The NFT was so badly cropped.
Yeah.
The photo is like, it's not even like nicely cropped, right? It's like all this white thing like in the photo, and people was like, how is this worth so much money at the time? It's like ridiculous. And this is actually how it became viral, because it's so ridiculous. It's like so funny, and people think.
So what happened? Can you tell us like few like time frame, kind of key numbers?
So we launched the collection and it minted within like 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I started to send my NFT to some of the like the big people, right, in the crypto as a gift.
Okay.
So one of the person I sent the NFT to is Mike Novogratz.
Okay.
Because before I send it to him, Irene Dao started as a Telegram sticker, right?
Okay.
Sticker set.
Yeah.
And Mike Novogratz actually congratulated me on the sticker set. He said it is very innovative and very interesting.
Okay.
So I said, since you you said it's a very interesting. Probably you might like my NFT because my NFT was actually the sticker set.
Okay.
So I said, okay, can I send you one NFT? He said, yes, sure. And after I sent it to him, I didn't expect anything.
He posted. Okay.
Yeah. He just posted. He's such a nice guy. He just posted. Yeah. I was like, oh, he's so innovative. He's so funny. He posted. And then Logan Paul saw the post. And then he bought I think 29 NFTs. And then the price went up to
30 NFTs. Okay.
5 ETH. Yeah.
5x. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 ETH. 5 ETH. Yes,
okay.
at a peak.
Okay.
Yeah. He bought 13, I think. I think the total amount of money he spent is about 230.
Okay.
30K? Yeah. 200K.
Okay.
Mm.
Did you, for you, it's amazing advertisement.
Yeah.
Did you benefit any other way from that?
I think it's more like the branding.
Yeah.
Because people
absolutely.
see me as the first one who successfully launched a creator NFT.
Yeah.
So, and after Trump launched his own NFT,
yeah.
and people are calling Trump's followers a simp.
Yeah.
But I think I'm the one who actually started all this simp movement.
Yeah.
So I think that's how people view it, which is pretty meaningful.
So this is the moment where you're like, I'm going to build a company in crypto.
Yes,
and it's going to be around that.
Yeah, because, there's way many girls who are hotter and millions of fans. I thought if I can do it, they can do it too.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, but the thing is, right, at the time, it was so difficult to launch your own NFT collection because you need to hire a smart contract developer. And then you have to have your fans have to go to OpenSea to buy it. And they have to go to Discord to verify they have the NFTs to actually assess the community. And then if they want to do any DAO votings or proposals, they have to go to snapshots, which is just too complicated even for a crypto native person. So we want to put everything into one platform, which is super easy for the Web2 people to use. That's why we started SoCol.
Let's talk about SoCol directly.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. What is SoCol? If you have to talk about it, so it means social collectible.
Yeah, social collectible.
If you have to summarize in a few sentences.
Yeah, it's the platform where we can allow all the creators to launch their own versions of Irene Dao at the click of a button.
Okay.
So you just need to press these few buttons. Done.
Boom. You have your collection.
Yeah.
What does it make sense for a creator to do that?
It makes a lot of sense for them to do that because right now you have your ownership of your content. Because you can just put all the contents on Instagram into NFTs and then you change the ownership from the... Because, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all these centralized social media platforms, they can take down your content, they can take down your account at any time.
Yeah.
You don't really own your community, you don't own your content, you don't own your income. But for NFT, you change the ownership to yourself. So you are the one who's own all this content. And when you sell all this content to your fans are actually the owners of all this content. So it builds a very special relationship between you and the fans. And also, if you are a grassroots creator, it makes much more sense because when you are small, and you have all these, I would say the passion economy, right? The top 100 fans or top 10 fans who are super crazy about your project. They can come and join you. And when you grow bigger, you can reap the benefits all together. So you are 10 times more powerful than you were before.
100%.
Once you establish this ownership.
How do I share my success with people who believe in me since the beginning? As a person or as a company or as a band or whoever is kind of funding my project since the beginning is going to have the same upside. An upside that's linked to
It's not only that they contribute at your work, they also talk about it to their friends. They want them to be your supporter as well.
It's evangelism on steroids because if you love Coldplay, for example, you'll tell your friends, I love Coldplay, listen to this music. Yeah. It's amazing. Oh yeah, okay. But now if you own a Coldplay NFT where you have maybe a part of their yearly profit or you can have a dinner with Chris Martin or whatever, you are completely tied to the upside and the success
more,
of the
financial incentives to promote about the creators.
Yeah.
And also one good thing is probably you are secret follower of this girl OnlyFans. Of course, you can't say that, I'm a subscriber to this girl OnlyFans. But if you bought her NFT, you can actually say, it's an investment. And you can proudly, share this creator to your friends. Yeah.
Great example. how much of that is a concept? Because this sounds so appealing and makes so much sense. But then there is the reality of the world, which is everybody still uses Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's a crypto bear market.
Yeah.
Most people think NFTs are a scam. Crypto is dead for the 200th time. No one cares about that anymore. So what's the actual reality? And maybe like to make it more practical, what are the key challenges that you faced at SoCol since founding the company and especially now in a bear market?
I think for the creator side, that some of the creators are still pretty conservative. The problem is not they are conservative, it's their fans.
Yeah.
Because the fans has this false perception about NFT that it's always scam. It's just like NFT, like profile picture. Like, why am I paying like 5K or like 10K for a static photo where I can just download it for free on the internet? So the education barrier is still very high. And also actually I talked to a lot of like K-pop manager, and they said the K-pop fans are the ones who hate NFT the most and who were strongly against this K-pop star if you are into the NFT business. So these are the challenges we face. You know
why K-pop fans are that against?
I think they probably just have this like perception that NFT, probably first of all, they think, oh, crypto is not environmental friendly. And secondly, they think, oh, all the existing NFT projects like launched by the superstar like Jay Chou, Edison Chen, the floor price actually dropped a lot, right?
Yeah.
So they don't really see the value of why I want my idol to be associated with NFT collections. Yeah. So these are the things, the challenges we face right now.
So we talked a bit and you told me that your kind of like initial vision is B2C.
Yeah.
Now you're doing some B2B stuff.
Yes.
To kind of like pivot or offer more things, because a lot of creators now are not, probably in a year or two, it's going to be completely different. It's going to be it's going to go crazy. But like right now, like what do you do?
So for all this time being, we are doing B2B and B2C at the same time.
Okay.
And then after the B2C doesn't work, we think, whether we should continue to work with B2B, because a lot of companies, the big company, they're still keen in the NFT business. They still think it's the future. And they are very keen to put the resources, the money into the NFT collections. So we are working with all these brands who are easier to work with because they already have the belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do have a specific niche market who also wants to be in the NFT community. So I think it's a win-win situation for us.
So what do you do exactly with businesses?
And
the difference with like creators and businesses, or it's kind of like similar thing?
Creators is more like individual creators, and they are interacting with the fans. Yeah. But for the business side, we are working with Avalanche, the biggest F1 after party. So they're launching the NFT collection, as the lifelong membership. So for as long as you have the NFT collection, you can get to the Avalanche at all the locations in the world, like Monaco, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, and Las Vegas.
Yeah.
This is owned by the Avalanche. And also you can enjoy like different privilege. Like you don't need to queue at all when you enter into the
and it's not only F1, it's also, they did World Cup events, like 20 events at the World Cup in Qatar.
So they have a lot of events around the year. So this is one benefit. And another NFT project we work with is called Nothing, with a very sleek phone brand. So they are airdropping all the NFTs to the early community members and early supporters and early investors of the phone brand. So they are creating their own NFT community. And once you collect different NFTs, you can redeem these NFTs and into something that's more tangible, like physical gadgets, everything. So they are also exploring the NFT market.
Awesome. How did your life change since you started a business?
And
it's very linked to what you said before. You say, I thought that when I was posting this picture and I didn't have 1,000 likes within 10 minutes, I was stressed out because it's going to go viral and then I have the competition. Now you're in the real business world.
Yes.
Like how has life changed like for you? What are the good things and the bad things?
For the good things is that I don't need to worry about how many likes I got on Instagram anymore. Right? Like if this brand doesn't want to work with me, I was like, okay, it's all right. No, it's fine. Yeah, and I can post content that I really enjoy posting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this is the good thing. But the bad thing is I have to worry much, much more stuff compared to before. Because last time I was an influencer, all I need to care about is brands, my followers, myself, that's it.
Yeah.
But now I have investors, I have the retails, I have all these like different projects to work with, all these partners, just a lot of things going on. Yeah. Exchange as well. Yeah. You're like talking to different people every day. And there are like some projects that want to work with you, they want to do partnership, and you have to find what's the best angle for you to benefit, for both of you to benefit from this partnership. And you have to like some projects want you to promote their coins and to see if there's any conflict of interest with your project. And also we are still talking to some big business companies, and we have to find the best angle to promote the NFT collection, even in this bear market.
Do you find that the partners or the businesses that approach you, I mean, the company, are trying to look for a win-win, or are trying to make benefit that you're a new entrepreneur?
That's the part we don't know. Nobody knows, right?
You don't know.
But if you always think that other people want to take advantage of you,
you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, you're not going to do anything, right? There's nothing you can do. Yeah. So you have to just keep trying out new stuff and working with different partners to see which one works. And
accept that you're going to have a lot of failures, and as long as you survive is the most important.
Yeah, last time, like when I just started fundraising and I got rejected by some VCs, I was so mad. I was like, why did they reject me? And now I don't even, I'm not like angry anymore. It's like, okay, just accept it and move on.
Can you tell us how, I mean, because you are pretty influential in crypto, I mean, how easy it was for you in a bull market to raise money, how it is in a bear market, how like the kind of overall experience, because you're saying like, I got some people who said no. Obviously in the beginning as an entrepreneur, you raise money, you think my idea is the best and my execution is going to be the best. Therefore everyone should invest in my business, like without even thinking about it. Then you go and you try and you realize it's actually not that easy.
Yeah.
So what's your experience with that?
So at the start, we are doing SoCal, right? SoCal at the time was not popular because nobody has really done it right. I mean, till now, still nobody has done it right.
Yeah.
By the time, it's even harder because people don't believe in social. They was like, how is Web3 social different from Web2?
Yeah.
And it's actually very hard for us to convince the investors for them to invest. And luckily, we got Animoca as the first investor in the company. And they were pretty reputable at the time. And I mean, they're still reputable now. That's how we got our first investment. We convinced them. And they really have a lot of capital at the time, right? So that's how we got our first investment. And after that, we have after Irene Dao, it becomes much more easier because a lot of people heard about it and they actually see with their own eyes how it works.
Something's possible.
And how many like how viral it went, and they feel like it actually might work in the Taiwan, Japanese, and the Asian market, pretty much. So at the time, it was pretty easy to raise. So we was oversubscribed for our seed round.
Seed round, okay.
But then after the Sphero, after Luna, after FTX collapse, everyone is becoming so conscious and like so nervous about where they should put their money into crypto. Yeah, that's where the real crypto winter started.
Yeah. Did you see? So you raised more money recently, right? I think like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, it's more like a token round.
So that was okay. The first one was an equity.
All of them were token round.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But the most recent one is after we launched the tokens, so it's different from the previous investors.
Okay. Can you tell us about that actually? So most recent one is like bear market started already. How easy or difficult is it for someone like you to raise money with tokens? Because with tokens, it's supposed to be easier than with equity in crypto right now, because people kind of say, they say, at least it kind of de-risks a bit the investment. I'm going to have access to some liquidity.
I think it depends on the VC, whether they're Web2, Web3, or what's their area of focus. I think with some Web2 VCs, it's actually much easier to raise with equity. Because they want to invest in equity, they believe in the business model and they believe in the profit you're going to bring. But for some Web3 native VCs, they actually, of course, they're more interested in tokens. Yeah. I think it's challenging for all the builders, unless you are building infrastructure or like layer 1, or you're building an ecosystem, then the narrative is much easier. Right? People really believe in the narrative. But then if you are building a DApp,
it's very specific.
Much harder.
Yeah, the other thing, they can just say the layer 1, there's going to be value accrued on that. So I'm kind of like doing an ETF sort of bet on the future.
For infrastructure, you are just leveraging on all the dApps, on their users, right?
Yeah.
They can come to your infrastructure. But for the dApp, you need to attract your own users, which is much more challenging.
Yeah.
Than building the infra.
How important is flexibility as an entrepreneur, especially in the crypto industry? Can you give us some examples?
Oh. The narrative changes all the time. Like previously, there are people are doing like Bitcoin NFT, BRC20, and then they are like moved to meme coin. And I think 1 week later, they're probably gonna be attracted to something else. So the narratives keep changing. And you have to. It's very hard for you to always catch what's popular right now because there's no way for you to develop so fast. Yeah. So I think you should really be firm about your own thesis, about your own conviction, and then you work around it. And I think bear market is a good time for you to build because there are much less noise. Let's imagine if I had this creator platform raise so much money, that creator platform raise so much money, you will be so stressed. You think, I should go and raise more money. But right now, since it's pretty quiet for the Web3 creator economy right now, I think it's a good time for us to build and to really think what kind of trades are more innovative or more useful to the creators.
Yeah, I'm asking this question because we had Alex Vanevich from Nansen here, and he was actually saying that the thing that did really well to grow that quickly is that they were very flexible in their understanding of the market with DeFi in 2020 and then NFT, and the rest is very similar, and they also build their platform so they can accommodate very quickly and in a very flexible fashion to these changes. But at the same time, so this makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, what you say is also like you don't want, there's so much noise. So it's what's noise and what's a real trend.
It's very hard. And to be honest, nobody knows what's noise and what is real trend, right? And when people talk about BRC tokens, they were like, are they here to stay or they just,
we don't know.
Gone? Yeah, nobody knows. Who can predict the future? Nobody can.
We don't know.
Yeah. But that's also very fascinating about crypto because everything is possible.
Yeah.
You can always come up with new narratives and something, just keep trying. Probably one day your narrative just gonna be true.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna be popular in the market. Yeah.
Another example you gave me when you talked about kind of burn rate, the changes.
Yes, the burn rate. Yeah, last time our burn rate was like 200K a month. That's when we are rapidly expanding in United States. Because at the time, which is like about April and May, everybody wants to do an NFT. Everyone. The people we talk to, the celebrities, all these Netflix shows.
2022, April.
Yeah, 2022.
Okay,
when we just started.
So a year ago, basically.
Yeah, when we just started our incubation center in Los Angeles, everyone in Hollywood, they want to do an NFT business with us. And that's why we're rapidly expanding because we think it's more important to gain the traction than burning the capital. That's our strategy at the time. So we have the house, we host parties to attract the creators. But after a while, we find out it doesn't really bring much traction. So we start to reflect and think whether it's really important to have so many people in the team. Yeah. Like, do we really need so many developers? Yeah. That's when we start to cut down all the costs on like marketing, parties, and then start to focus much more on the product itself instead of creating all the hypes.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing that you've seen or experienced in the crypto world?
The craziest thing?
Yeah.
I think it's the meme coin, right? The meme coin, the Pepe.
The Pepe.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how many times, within 1 month. But actually, anything happened in the crypto, it's just crazy. Like, do you even expect FTX to collapse within like 1 week?
Last year was...
It's because of one tweet. It just
last year was crazy.
That's so crazy. Like Luna, they just went to zero within like 4 or 5 days. Everything was so crazy.
I remember that. I was very, very, very invested in Luna. Like lost like millions in 2 days. So like I remember it it's actually 1 year ago, 5 days ago. So I remember it vividly.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the crazy things that happen. It's almost every day people are immune to the crazy things.
But we're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
We are still here.
Yeah, we are like the firm believer in a crypto.
Exactly.
And the potential you're going to bring to millions of people.
Absolutely. That's interesting now because most people that's now that you build or invest or both when no one cares, but people don't do that. And then there's the banking crisis. There's the recession. There's this and that. And then the people who are still there in the trenches, working, building, investing, are the ones who are going to reap the reward in 1-2 years. And it's always the same. You have these cycles, and it's
there's still like so many builders in the crypto space. Yeah, a building product that people really want to use.
So crypto is an emotional roller coaster, especially for builders. Can raise at internet.
Well, everybody in this industry is roller coaster.
It's crazy. So how do you deal with mental health in this emotional roller coaster?
Mental health. I just try to tell myself it is what it is. Just accept. I think acceptance is very important.
It is what it is.
You have to accept the fact that I burned so much money in the bull market, and you have to accept the fact that it is like a winter, right? It's hard to raise money.
Yeah.
You have to accept the fact that nowadays probably NFT is too advanced for the creators to use it in daily life. You just have to accept it and keep being like what you said, being flexible and keep being more mentally strong. I think that's very important. Otherwise, you're gonna go insane. And especially, you need to ignore the noise because all the people around you seems like everyone's making money. Yeah, right? Everybody's making millions of money.
That's a big one.
From Arbitrum, the airdrop.
That's a big one.
They're from the meme coins. And then from like the BRC tokens, the BRC NFTs.
That's a big one.
OB, right? Everybody's making so much money. And of course, the one losing money, they're not going to post online, right? Only the one who make money. And then you feel so FOMO.
Only when they win money will they post.
Yes.
That's a big one. And for me, it's a big mistake in the last cycle. Because I was like, you always feel like you can have complete life-changing money. Yeah. But you always think like, at some point there was Suzu from 3 Arrow who says something like 50 million is you can't even buy a reasonably sized house. Really? And you look at that and you're like, you start to first you lose complete control of like reality, you lose touch with reality because of the amounts and sums. But then you always see these people who are lying. Actually, they're lying because they say it's my money, but they're actually taking money.
Oh, true.
You know, or they always seem like they're much higher, and then you're just like you always feel like you're not enough, and I need more, and all that stuff, and that's how you get destroyed because you don't have your. Because everybody's lying, and you just compare yourself to people who are lying. Yes, and it's.
I mean, sometimes people just give fake numbers. Yeah. As I make so much money, so they can get you into their inner circle and sell courses to you. That's how they make money. But people just can't differentiate whether it's real or it's fake. Yeah,
the Twitter game actually, you want to impress, so you get more followers and lots of stuff, so you can actually make more money later on.
Yes, and especially relevant in crypto because people really make a lot of money in a day or like 2 days. Yeah. If they really invest in that coin, it went viral. Yeah, so I think it's actually true that people really experience that.
How did your life change since you launched a token? Because I talked to a bunch of people who, I mean, actually were early investors in a lot of different pre-sales. And some of these, they said, the day you launch a token, you have your own business, but you actually almost have a second business because you have these investors, but you have this price and your token is your kind of your marketing for your company. Because if the token does well, the project is amazing. If the token doesn't do well, the project is shit. Yeah,
exactly. They don't care what you do. They want to look at the price.
Exactly. So how did things change for you since you launched the token?
I think after I launched token, I think it's pretty all right because the investors, they understand it's a bear market. Yeah. So they are pretty understandable, pretty understanding. They know it's a very difficult situation for most of the builders. And they are very happy that we actually got launched on a centralized exchange, which is KuCoin. It's a pretty decent exchange, to be honest. And of course, we are also trying hard to work with different companies, coming up with new projects, new initiatives to bring out more good news, so people would have confidence in the coin. Yeah, I wouldn't say change much. I'm still doing the same thing.
Okay, that's awesome. I've heard some. I mean, it was people who launched some protocols on the Terra ecosystem. So like, they launched the thing that. I think we did like 80 or 100x at the launch. Then the fully diluted value was like, market cap was like 1.5 billion. So the guys are like, life is amazing. And then everything goes to zero. Yeah. And they didn't sell any token, but like everybody tells
you mean the traders?
No, the builders. And then they get absolutely murdered by investors. Like, you sold tokens. Like, no, I sold nothing. Like the thing went to zero because everything went to zero. And then they said never again a token, basically.
Yeah, and there are a lot of things that affect the token price because you have the exchange, you have the airdrop, the people who had airdrop, you have all these creators, you have retailers, you have like investors, and there's so many factors that affect the price. Yeah. And people may just like blame you for selling tokens as a team, right? Yeah. So these are all the complaints we receive all the time.
Okay.
I'm really trying to get used to the negative comments. Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Be given is, let me think. I wouldn't say any advice, but it's like I observing people around me who are much more successful and created a much bigger project, but they are still very hardworking. They are very self-disciplined, and they are still working every day for the crypto market, for the mass adoption. This is like what inspired me. So I wouldn't say that, I took any advice, because advice are all the same, right? You have to be mentally strong.
Yeah, you can read all these books.
That's what everybody said. Yeah. But it's like really through the people around you, that through the experience and how you interact with them, they really learn what is really important to be as a builder. You learn all the, I would say the traits, the personal traits from them.
So the common pattern between these people is they work hard, they don't stop, they don't care about the money and all that stuff.
It's not really much, they don't care about the money. They have a bigger goal. Yeah, but greater mission in life.
Okay. What's something you believe in that most people would not agree with?
Something I believe in. I would say that shortcut is actually the longest way, the longest road to success.
Okay.
Don't take shortcuts.
Do you have any failures or examples?
So many, too many. Yeah.
Maybe one favorite that you want to share?
There's just like way too many times I want to take a shortcut and realize actually I need to spend much more time trying to fix it because I took a shortcut at the time. Yeah. So you have to build consistently.
If there is a key takeaway from today, what would it be?
You mean from all these entrepreneur things?
From whatever we talked about today.
From this session?
Yeah. Key takeaway that you want people to remember?
Key takeaway, I just try to ignore the noise and do whatever you are doing right now. Yeah, it's really very easy to get lost. I mean, I also get lost when I try to compare myself with other creators or with other builders. Like, why they create such a successful project and why I'm not, right? I think the only thing is like you have to focus on yourself and just trying to be better day by day. Like you just compare yourself with the one yesterday. If you are better, you are stronger, you are mentally tougher. That's how you can keep growing and keep moving on. Never stop growing.
It's much easier to say to say than to do, especially in this world where with all these social media, you always see people who show their perfect life and we're all like that because there is always going to be someone who's more successful or more beautiful or smarter or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're always going to feel like you're not enough.
Yes.
And then you change, maybe you become more successful and your circle of friends change or people you hang out with. And then you're like, oh man, like these people are so successful.
Exactly.
And then you're going to go higher and it's never going to be enough. And then, so maybe, how do you find...
Actually, I'm still trying to cope with this because I met more and more successful people every day, and they are also complaining they are not rich enough as their friends.
Exactly.
When they make millions, billions of dollars, and they'll say, actually, I have a friend who invests in this company, then the ROI is like 10K times, like 10,000 times.
10,000 times.
It's like, I wish I invested that early. And people were like, even at their age, which is like 50 years old, they're still talking about it. So what do you think is one of the kind of like final question? What do you think is a kind of main driver of happiness if the money and all these goals are never enough for anyone who made it more than enough? Like, what do you think? Or do you talk about them? Do you talk with them about that? Like, what makes you happy? I think it's to never stop growing. I mean, for me, at my age, at this stage of life, to me, it's never stop growing. But I think for people at 50 years old, they probably want to spend more time with the family.
Yeah.
So people at different stages have different definition of happiness. But for me, right now, it's like, once I feel like, I'm improving this area a little bit, I feel very satisfied and accomplished. And when people telling me that, actually, you inspired me to do my own business or to get into crypto, I'm very happy, especially when I go around the world and I meet people that some of the arena holders or some, they told me that they heard about it and they're really inspired. They love it a lot. I feel really accomplished. That's when I find the true happiness.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this, Irene.
Thank you so much.
Where can people learn more about you and follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, Twitter is Irene Zhao. Oh, I don't have a blue tick right now because I don't want to pay $8 to Elon Musk. but
She's doing the anti-blue tick revolution.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Yes. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and also on Instagram. Big Instagram. Oh, so many fake accounts of me. Just good luck if you can find the real me. Okay. Yeah, just good luck. Don't get scammed.
Awesome.
I will never ask you for money. Never.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.